Hey everybody, it's Muffin and welcome back to another guide for beginners in TFT. In the last video, I asked you guys to leave any questions on something that I might be able to answer for you and really dive into in one of these videos. And someone actually left a comment. The top thing I asked myself when I watched this is, why did he buy those units and why did he sell those units? And I think that's a pretty vague question, but I also felt like it was led into a very cool concept that a lot of like pro players, or if you watch anyone on YouTube talk about, is called strongest board. And that's the idea of that whenever you're playing TFT, you should always be trying to have the board that is, I mean, very simply, the strongest in order for you to lose as little HP and also give you opportunities in order to make a strong board later. And in particular, it reminded me of a clip I was watching K3 Soju yesterday. And this is a fun clip that I think was very informative for beginner players, because this is a game where from the very beginning, he got the Yasuo augment where he gives attack speed to everyone who does not have someone next to him. And instantly he was like, I'm playing Zed. I'm going to be playing Zed this entire game. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to build Zed items, i.e. Runan's Edge of Night. And then I'm also going to take augments that are really good for Zed, like Knife's Edge or Celestial Blessing, which gives healing or AD to the people in the front row. And he goes on his level 8 roll down. You can see he's built his entire comp around duelists and being able to play Zed. And he finds an Aphelios, and he even finds 2 Samiras. And he ends up finding himself a Samira 2 with 0 Zeds. Now, Samira can use these items actually pretty well, and actually wants Edge of Night, especially if she's going to be in the front line. But you can see he immediately also sells the units that are no longer relevant. And I thought this was kind of interesting, because a lot of, I think, beginner players would sit there and go, okay, well, we have Samira, and sure, we can play Samira for now, but we should probably at least still hold on to everyone that we still want to play for our Zed board. And K3 Soju just goes, no, no, we're playing Samira now, and now we're strong enough to go 9 because we've got a Samira 2, and our comp is actually pretty strong. And it's a very strong comp. But now if you went to like meta TFT, you would not see this version of a comp anywhere. It's actually, he's going to win the game with something that ends up looking nothing like what a board a lot of people would end up with 2 frontline units, Echo and Alistar, and then just a bunch of backline, and even Samira in the frontline. Like, it's just an interesting comp. Ultimately, the idea is a lot of people struggle to play without guides, or only will pick up units that are specifically based off of like the comp that they know how to play. But if you watch a lot of pro players, or if you watch a lot of like on YouTube, a lot of pro players do not use comp guides. or they don't have like a comp pulled up or anything. I use a little bit, but most of the time I don't either. In fact, when I follow a guide, I find that I perform worse. So I'm going to queue up for a game, but as I play, I'm going to walk you through kind of how I go about setting up a proper comp and how we think about positioning and maneuvering units in and out in order to constantly have the strongest board, in order to constantly add to our team and give us good opportunities to play for a late game. Now, a really good tip I learned from Spicy Appies, one of the top players in North America, is off this first carousel, it's really beneficial to try and find a character who can use the item that's on it. And this will give you like an early sense of direction as far as like how to build a comp. There weren't too many great options. A lot of tank had damage items, and a lot of damage units had tank items. Probably the best one I saw was Nasus here with this chain vest. He's kind of a tank, but he's also kind of damage dealer. And so it's going to be easy to move him in, move him out, but also he can use tank items or damage items. So I'm pretty happy having a chain vest on a Nasus. But then also what's important is kind of knowing what are good front lines and good back lines. You really want your front line to die as slowly as possible, and also leading into your back line being able to deal a lot more damage. So one of and I also happen to know that 2 of the best front lines in the game right now are a lot of brawlers or a lot of mascots. So since we don't have any clear direction right now, I'm just going to hold on to mascot and Renekton, since we don't have a lot of either. Plus now we have a Sunfire cape, because that's a belt mixed with a chain vest. So burning actually really holds well on Nessus, and now we actually have access to 2 mascot, so we're probably actually looking, as well as a pair of Nasus, so we're probably looking to play something that's more based off having a mascot frontline. Mascot frontline is based off of a lot of healing, but now what we're looking for, since we have kind of our front line picked out, is we're looking for backline units. Ezreal's really good. We can probably hold on to that. Ooh, we also have a Vel'Koz here. But now we know that we don't need to be holding on to any level of frontline units anymore, because we have our frontline picked out. With augments here, we also have Triforce. I know that Triforce is really good playing into... I know we just sold... What's his name? Oh, I can't even remember his name. I know we just sold our Cho'Gath, but actually we also have a Vel'Koz right here, and Triforce plays into really well to Vel'Koz. So now we know that we really want to revolve our comp around mascots and some level of 3-star units, or 3-cost units. So I kind of want to level here. Like I said, we don't need front line, so we can sell him. We really only need back line, and Ezreal's kind of just better. So we are going to be running with these units. I'm going to go ahead and slam this Sunfire Cape. And now we've got a properly set up front line and a back line. We know that we want to lead more towards mascots as a front line because it's the only front line we hit a pair of, as well as we do have 2 of them. Plus, it's really good to have mascot units and be able to move more towards being able to replace them. It's easier to replace them with threat units, like Zac would probably hold the Sunfire really well, or your Rammus and your Cho'Gaths. My thinking is that this game, since we have pretty decent direction with Triforce and we already have our Vel'Koz, I'm thinking we actually are going to have a pretty good, just easy go about trying to find our units and being able to play this game pretty easily. And you'll find that whenever you do play the game in this sort of a way, we can even throw this Sona in here over Ezreal, because Sona is a 3 cost and they kind of do the same thing. We're going to lose this fight because that's a lot of upgraded units. But we know we're in an okay spot because we kind of have an idea what we're going for. We just want to finish Vel'Koz items. We don't really need to sell anything on our bench. We can't hit 10 gold. If we couldn't hit gold interval right now, we would sell a lot of these units just to be able to hit them. Feeling a little bit quiet. Yeah, this is a fight we expect to lose. I'm actually not quite certain that Vel'Koz is super strong, but this is part of why it's really good to hold a unit that can use the item, is because now, instead of having to look for 3 Nasuses at the beginning of the game, we only had to look for 2, and now we have an upgraded Nasus, and that just gives us a little bit more competent advantage. We do have an option. We could play Undergrounds here if we were, like, say, really looking for that kind of direction, but we're not. And I kind of want to make Econ here, so we're actually going to put Ezreal back in. We could also put Yuumi. Yuumi's an option because it's a mascot, but I don't think we would need to go for a mascot. I think people are also going to play Yuumi. This is 7, 8, 9, 10. If we can, we would like to hold one of these pairs, probably the Gangplank, so we're hoping to win this, which it looks like we're going to. And so we're going to make 10 gold because we get 1 for victory, and we didn't have to sell our Gangplank pair. And the reason we like Gangplank is because we have Ezreal as a backliner, we have Vel'Koz as a backliner. Lulu doesn't do too much without traits that benefit her, but Gangplank can kind of just do damage. Now, either here on Carousel, we really want to either finish an item with a Vel'Koz, or this Rammus actually looks really good. Rammus is going to be one of our ideal front lines. Vel'Koz probably even could get away with having a Rage Blade, since we have bonus attack speed from Triforce, but I don't think it was super necessary. So that actually might be really good for playing around Vel'Koz. And see, we only now we just need to hold. Oh, actually, we're doing pretty well on holding finding units that we're looking for. So the cool thing now is we're really just going to be able to add in our Rammus, and then we're going to also be able to add in Cho'Gath whenever we find them. We want to hit 10 gold again, so we're probably just going to sell these guys. Or it might even be worth... Okay, actually, this is probably a good point. Is Ezreal, we do not have a pair of and is worth 2 gold. We really want to hit Econ here, so we are more likely to hit a pair of Gangplanks or hit an upgraded Gangplank than we are to hit 2 Ezreals. So I'm actually okay selling Ezreal in this spot to hit 10 gold. Then we get to hold on to our Cho'Gath, and we get to hold on to our upgrade. And these guys are actually going to be able to do a lot of damage for us. I think we should win this. I don't think there's a world where LeBlanc is able to clutch this out. I don't know why Rammus jumped all the way over here, but sure. Now we're technically 1 over 10 gold. I'm down to hold Nasus, just on the off chance that we find extra Nasuses and we can put in like a second Nasus. You can see we also would have had Underground at this point in the game if we so decided. Now, I also happen to know, this is just because I have played the game a lot, and a lot you will learn from playing the game a lot, is that throwing in 2 civilian gives a lot of bonus AP for every 2 seconds, so Vel'Koz is able to cast a whole lot. This is just a really good tech. And so, since we know we're playing around Vel'Koz and playing around these guys, it's pretty good to sit here and be able to hold on to the Sivir or even have her in as our secondary backline unit. because it's also going to make Vel'Koz cast a whole lot more. Vel'Koz is just a really good unit because he solely attacks, his spell solely attacks whoever on the enemy team is doing the most damage at the time. So that's pretty good. We're going to miss 20 gold. That does not feel good. I almost want to sell the second Galio, but that's not going to help us out much. The other option would be to sell Cho'Gath, but I don't think that's a great option. I actually feel very comfortable with where we are. The other option was putting Cho'Gath in over Nasus, and I don't think that's very good. We also are on a win streak, so it's okay. We're going to get more econ from win streaking. We probably don't need these guys, so we're hoping we get econ here so we can go up to level, we can hit 30 gold. Well, now we actually have a lot of core elements for our comp. Eventually, we are going to drop Nasus just for more frontline units, probably like Cho'Gath. Ooh, Archangels is actually pretty good as well. We know Bramble is very good on Rammus because he scales with armor. Armor is very good on Rammus. So I'm actually super down to just slam this Bramble Vest. Plus, then we know Sunfire Cape is probably going on Rammus, and we're building Rammus up as our main tank. This is very nice because now we have... we actually have a lot of pairs. This is really good. I've never actually really high rolled as much as I am right now. So I'm not going to slam this Archangels right now, just because we don't have any... we do have some healing, actually. But if anything attacks our Vel'Koz, we're pretty much screwed. And so, while, yeah, we would get a lot of damage if we put Archangels here, if we slam it, then we have no other item compositions that directly build into healing him up again, or giving him a healing item. So we want to... I would much rather have it like get a sword off this next carousel and then slam Gunblade plus Hodge that I would Archangels and then have to slam something with this bow. With this glove. So that's why we're not doing anything there. We don't have to sell these guys yet because it doesn't give us a econ thresh point or break point. And we do just want to hold these guys because we know they're going on our endgame board. And I even saw another Cho'Gath down here somewhere. Celestial Blessing would be really good because then actually we can slam Archangels without needing to worry about a healing item. That actually is not bad. Rich Get Richer is also good. We're pretty low on econ even though we have a lot of HP. So we might play Rich Get Richer. Drill of the Hunt probably is not the best idea. I think Celestial Blessing is probably best for this comp. So because now we have Celestial Blessing, I am okay slamming Archangels, and then maybe we slam like a JG here later as well. And the cool thing is Vel'Koz, now because he has so many different points of mana, because he gets extra attack speed from Triforce, but then he also is getting 4 mana every 2 seconds from Civilian, we don't really need to worry about giving him like a Shojin or like more attack speed. He could use Rage Blade, but we really kind of want to build him up so that whenever he does cast his spell, he's either killing or nearly killing whatever he's attacking. Because you can see he's casting every couple of seconds. That's 2 casts. And he did kill, he mostly killed the, he almost killed the Fiora when he cast early in the fight. And he did straight up kill the Gangplank on their team. But the main thing is he also is CC, so he wants to be able to do both. We might still even want Gunblade, because then he can heal up frontline as well. This comes very annoying to play against, because it's just got a lot of CC in it, which is crowd control, basically stunning the enemy team. But we also have a lot of pairs for our frontline units. So like Rammus, we just want to hold on to these because we know they're all going in. They're 3 costs. We're playing around Triforce. Admittedly, this is Triforce 1. If you're playing against really high level lobbies, you might not want to build around Triforce 1 and dedicate super hard to it because it's only 10 attack speed. It's not super great, but we're still in bronze, so this is okay. You can see they killed our Galio. What the heck? Our Galio is gone. This guy's playing pretty strong. He already went level 6, which is one of the big reasons that he's super strong. But you can see, actually, just because our Vel'Koz has this Archangels on him and we were able to slam this item, he's actually going to win us for us. That's actually pretty good. The reason we're not going 6 here, even though most people go 6 at 3-2 on the second augment, is 1, we're still pretty strong. We've got 2 upgraded mascot units, but then we've also got our Vel'Koz and Rammus. But the other thing is we're really low on econ, and we don't want to spend like 20 or so gold trying to build it back up at this point in the game. So here we're really hoping for this rod because it would allow us to finish off this glove item, but we don't have it. So now we just want to build another tank item. We already have a Bramble, which is the best armor item in the game. so we want to work more towards cloak items. We also are able to hit Rammus 2 here, which is kind of big. I'm even down to start holding an Nasus 2, because if we find Nasus 2, I would love to move this item over to Rammus instead. So this is kind of what we're working with. I'm also... It's 8 gold to level up. We don't need to hold on to those items anymore. Something we could consider here is leveling up and putting in Cho'Gath. It's a Cho'Gath 1, plus we just hit Rammus 2, so I'm not too confident that it's actually that powerful. Here we should be okay. If anything, this Yasuo is what's scary for us. But we're going to be able to kill this Ashe pretty easily, because our Vel'Koz is just going to snipe it pretty much. Oh, it did attack the Yasuo. And you see Ashe is just gone. And he's going to be able to finish off these other 2 units. So this is a case where it was actually really good we didn't level. It was actually very good we did not level. Because that would have wasted a gold, probably. Or we would have had to sell these Nasuses. I find it quite probable that we're going to win this next fight. This guy's level 6. He's got a Talia, which is quite powerful. But I actually think that if we throw in a Cho'Gath, that we have a decent chance at winning the fight. So I'm going to go ahead and level up. We also didn't lose any econ for it, because we have... Oh, I was worried that we were at 49. Oh, no, we're at 59, so this is not scary at all for us. Like, at all. Actually, no, we're perfectly fine. And it gives us a better chance at keeping our win streak. We're on a win streak of 7, so we're getting an extra 3 gold every turn. It's very valuable to try and keep this streak and be able to maintain it. Now, we are looking to 3-star all of our 3 costs, so like Vel'Koz, Rammus, Cho'Gath. So we're going to be mostly rolling at level 7, which is just the next level. We'll be there pretty soon. So we actually probably won't need to hold on to this Nasus anymore. It's not too bad. We just want to get as many 3 costs in as possible. I don't think we need Senna. We can play Senna. And so that's also important to realize is like, there's no set in stone what exact units you're looking for, especially since we just hit a Senna 2. That's actually probably... probably the best unit that we can hold on to right now. So we also have now our perfect AP item for Rammus. Now, a lot of people would put this item here on Cho'Gath. The main reason I did not is, or a lot of beginners would put it on Cho'Gath. I don't think a lot of like pro players would, and that's because Cho'Gath scales with AP or MR. So if you give him magic resist, he's going to do more damage. But the main thing is that you want at least one tank to just straight up not die and be very strong. Another key thing right here is we're looking to build Alistar since he's a 3 cost, and he's also a mascot. So once we get this Alistar too, he's going to replace Nasus, and that's why I was okay or comfortable selling my Nasus pair, because we were holding on to it so that we can move this item over, but also it wasn't griefing our econ. We wouldn't lose money by holding on to it. But now there's no point to hold on to it because we're only looking for this Nasus. I mean, we're only looking for this Alistar. But you can also see like our Cho'Gath died. However, we have a Rammus here who is now actually able to take on like a whole team instead of dying because he only has, and that was a whole AP team. And now he's able to do that instead of instantly dying. Now we have Absolution, which Senna gains 20 attack speed and bonus 5. Oh, this is specific to Senna. We have Spike Shell. Gaining Rammus when struck by an attack, he deals magic damage equal to 180% of his armor. Or you have Samira. Your team gains 4.5 attack speed for each 10. We actually have a lot of HP, so I don't think this is very good. Spike Shell already plays into what we're rolling on. So we're just going to roll down to try and hit some upgrades. I don't know if we want Sejuani. We kind of just want an Alistar too, and to hit our upgrades for our other 3 costs as well. Zac is pretty good. He is a threat. We don't need him. He doesn't do any like CC or anything like that. We could put Last Whisper here on Senna. Senna is an AD champion, so that wouldn't be too bad. But now actually a lot of damage should be coming here out of this Rammus. This person did have a Gangplank 3, which is quite strong, so I mean, they're low HP and they rolled down at level like 5 or 6. So it's only understandable that they're going to be pretty strong, but they're not going to be able to catch up to us once we get like all our 3 costs or our 3 stars, because they have all their 3 stars. We don't need to hold on to this. It's going to be quite hard for them to handle us. We do want to keep in this Galio, so we're trying to decide if we really want to play around mascots, I think, or if we really want to play around Zach, I don't think we do. I'm down to put this item here now. I think getting Rammus as powerful as possible is really important. We could have tried to find an Ionic Spark to put on him, but I think that's a little greedy. And you can see he just does a whole bunch of damage with this new augment, where he does a bunch of damage. Ionic Spark would have been really nice because it would make the magic damage he does with his spell deal a lot more. Just because it would reduce their magic resist, but we don't have any of the components for it, so greeting for it is kind of bad. We need to find both a cloak and a rod. We don't have either. An option we have here is, especially if we take this Fiddlesticks, is we can go level 8, but we probably don't. We probably just want to focus on finding a 3-star. Oh, we actually really want that rod, no? We really want that rod because it goes well with our glove, and that makes Vel'Koz crit. Or we even could just hold on to Fiddlesticks. If we level up, Fiddlesticks would be really good to just put in. I think we want to play Senna over playing Samira. Normally, I think you play Samira in this comp, but because we have Triforce, we want to focus on 3 costs. But also maybe it doesn't matter because it's only 10% attack speed, so maybe it doesn't matter too much for maybe the difference between Samira and Senna is worth it. Okay, so it's kind of crazy how we've only hit 2-star Vel'Koz and we still don't have 2-star Cho'Gath or 2-star Alistar. Both of those are a bit wild. Feels like we should have hit both of them way earlier. But we also have to decide if we're holding on to this Fiddlesticks. We don't have much CC in our board. We just have the 2 main sources of Vel'Koz and then Rammus when he does his little ram thing. But he's actually kind of holding it up. I think we really do... I couldn't make the decision there. I think we want to stay 7, so we actually probably should have gotten rid of this. That probably was smarter. And if we could find a tier for this bow, that would be very nice, because then we could give him Archangels, and then we could allow his spell to crit. And then if we give him Shiv, that gives our entire team, or the entire enemy team, magic resist reduction, which is very strong. So now we have a Cho'Gath upgrade. That's pretty nice. And we've actually got almost every unit upgraded, and then we're halfway to, or we're 2/3 the way to Rammus. We're only 4 off of Vel'Koz. And now we don't even need to worry about picking up anything other than what's already on our board. And you can see Vel'Koz is just sniping units. Oh, he's actually quite powerful. Oh no, we won. That would have been better if we do have a Shiv. It would be very nice if we can get a tier off of this guy right here. We just rolled past a Janna, mostly because we don't know we're not going to get her in, at least until level 8, and we're re-rolling at 7, so there's no point. It would just stop us from rolling 5 gold, basically. But I want to check the weather just to know if we would look out for her later. It's a shield one. Shield for Rammus might be really good, but I think we would rather just more... and she does a little bit of CC, but I think we would just prefer probably another 3 cost, actually. I don't know if there's another one worth getting in. Okay, we're hoping for a tier. All right, and we found our last Vel'Koz item. It could go on Vel'Koz. It could go, like, say here, maybe. Just so that we, like, want her to... I mean, because we kind of want her to live long as well. Probably whoever we put in. If you roll for too much, you're just not going to hit any of them. So we're just going to stay looking for these guys. I am down to Slam Shiv. I'm going to put it here. We probably should have put it on Senna. Senna's going to be the easier one to find later. Actually, no, it looks like a lot of people are building around this type of Sure Shot board. So they might not actually be easy to find later. But the main idea is just that once you find your direction, it becomes a lot easier. It would be kind of hard to convince me to change anything at this point. Maybe if we found just like a bunch of Sennas, we'd start investing in Senna items. Like we have one right here, so I'm going to hold on to it. There's a Senna. But also we know Senna's pretty contested. This guy's got 4, 5. So it's pretty, there's 9 or 8 in total. We also want to swap our positioning because we just saw that someone has a Zed right here. And if they fight us with that Zed, that is going to be not good. We're going to hope our Rammus is actually able to not die instantaneously at this point. We do have Shiv, which gives MR Shred now, which is good on all accounts because this is all magic damage. But he's also just got a bunch of 3 stars and we don't have any yet. So he's still quite strong. He's also playing the Yuumi board. You might have seen my guide on it, but a lot of people are starting to play this Yuumi board. We're still quite healthy, even over double whoever's in second place. So if we do spike, we are able to hit these 3-star units. It's crazy that we're not finding any Vel'Koz. A lot of people in this lobby really stayed and rerolled 2 costs. Interesting. Some of them are not even good 2 costs, but okay. Like, I don't know why you would ever hold a Fiora 2. I mean, a Fiora 3. That unit does not seem like it does very much. Okay, got a lot of Zed players. Is that not the guy we just lost to? No. Okay, Zed's still coming for us. That was unfortunate. I was hoping that Zed would not... I totally forgot Zed was even there. But he is attacking our front line now, which is actually really good. What the heck? That's very convenient that he just turned around for a second. How does our spiked shell, when struck by an attack, he deals magic damage? Okay, so it's not during like his spell or anything like that. Just whenever he's dealt damage. That person was holding a lot of our Alistars, so maybe we'll be able to find Alistar now. And a lot of people are starting to die out here. If anyone loses, and any of these 3 people loses a single combat, they pretty much lose the fight. We have an option. We could take this Cho'Gath. That'd be very nice, because then that's a Cho'Gath with a defensive item. We could also try and find... Shroud would probably not be bad. I think this just is the best option. We don't get it. We don't want a double chalice, so it's probably just this QSS. I'm not QSS. Oh, I forgot we had a Reforger. I'm actually even down to Reforge the item. This is a Rammus in here, so we only are 2 Rammuses off. Oh, that's a Gunblade. That's perfect for what we were looking for. So now we just need 1 more Rammus. It's actually quite odd that we have only seen 4 Vel'Koz in the entire game, even though we found it quite early. Okay, if we find 1 more Rammus, we can pick up this orb. If you don't know, this orb right here, basically there's a limited amount of units that are in the pool for each champion, and if it's in this orb, it has not been removed from the pool yet, so technically, it's a very small optimization, but technically you have a higher chance of being able to find the unit that's in the orb in your shop if you don't pick up the orb yet. The very funny thing is actually, most of our damage is coming from Senna over Vel'Koz, so being able to, if we did invest in Senna a bit more, it might be pretty good for our team. We have a lot cluttering our bench right now. Alistar is looking very unlikely, so if we are to find something that's also good for our board, like say we find more Sennas, we probably have to just sell this Alistar. It's going to be okay. It's not a big deal. We don't need Alistar 3. We're just looking for as much 3 stars as we can get. There also is going to come a point, especially if these people get pretty strong. Like, I think we might lose to these guys. If that does come to pass and a lot of these people do start to get as strong as us, then we are going to just roll down underneath 50. Like you can see, like, yeah, we lost by quite a large margin. Just because Talia is like super cracked. The only reason that we don't have to super roll down right now is just because we have so much HP left over. And there we hit Cho'Gath 3, so that's pretty great. We're still 1 off of Rammus. We especially don't want to go... Oh. The 2 people playing Yuumi are the ones left in the lobby. Oh, no. We may want to start picking up Senna items so we can 3-star Senna and use her as a champion. Because I don't know if Vel'Koz is going to do enough damage to really break through their entire team. And Rammus, as much as I love him, is not that great. Oh, Obsidian Cleaver is actually really good. I actually really like Obsidian Cleaver. Oh, we just naturaled 3-star Rammus. So now we're just going to sell this to have more HP. We're going to give Obsidian Cleaver here. Part of me is thinking about rolling down just to find... we kind of want him here so that he mana reaves this whole corner. Oh, we also probably shouldn't position him right here just because Yuumi has a decent shot at attacking our Vel'Koz, which is not great. And it looks like our Rammus is actually doing insane damage. Oh, Rammus carry is nuts. I love this guy. He has actually a ton of armor. Okay, I'm pretty sure if we win this next fight, we win in general. So I'm kind of gonna send it and roll down all my gold because we kind of want to finish it now. It gives him a lot less opportunity to get stronger than us. And we are not finding any Sennas. Oh no. We only need one more. Please, game. More dog. Oh, there we go. That's a 3-star Senna. We're just going to put this thing here. And we should be able to win this in one fight, and then we just win the game. We probably should move Cho'Gath over one more, so he's more likely to hit this Talia, but he turned around anyway, so it doesn't look like it's going to do much. And now we just have a bunch of 3-star units on our board, and they can't compete with it. It's just too powerful. But the main idea is finding your intention, and then only building around it. I've never played like a full threats board. I just know that they're all 3-stars, or there's a bunch of 3-stars in there, so you can go 7 and roll around it. Then you just want to build your items and your augments towards what you already have intention for. It would be pretty hard for me to ever like change what I'm buying at that point. It would be pretty unlikely for me to change what units I'm looking for at that point, because we've pretty heavily invested into 3-stars, and the key part is it was working for us. If it wasn't working, there'd be a huge argument to change plans and maybe drop this argument, but it was actually quite strong and it was working for us. And we even hit a Rammus augment that gave him a bunch of armor, or it gave him a bunch of damage based off of his armor, so it was really good for us to build around Rammus and build our threats board. But taking direction is super important. We had the Vel'Koz early, so we built items around our Vel'Koz. We took mascots early, so we knew that we were playing a mascots early game, and then we knew that we were probably turning that front line into a threats board. But then also because we were building out around 3 costs and threats, that the threats also really benefit from having mascots and having in civilians. So we wanted to grab the Sivir, but then naturally because Sivir is a sure shot, and then because we have another 3-star who is also a sure shot in Senna fits on the board very well. And we were able to actually build a really strong team, and there's a potential this could even win in like the Masters lobbies I currently play in that are just as strong. You would probably want to build more around the Senna items. If you build this board normally, I feel like this would be like a Samira. Samira is ace, so it like kills things faster, but because we want a 3 cost and because we were re-rolling at 7, this Senna is what we really wanted to build around. There's potential that you would build items for her, but we didn't even really have her until later in the game. Building around Vel'Koz and just getting 3-stars was really good for our board. But anyways, I've been Muffin. Please let me know if this video is helpful. If it was, please consider giving it a like. And if you have any more questions or maybe something that I should dive into and try and explain in one of these game walkthroughs, please leave in the comments down below. I really just want to help people be able to learn how to play TFT a little bit better. So if you have anything that I can help you with, please let me know. Anyways, I've been Muffin. You guys have been amazing, and I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.